Record on. Awesome. Welcome to another episode, if you will, of Brunch and Picks.
Uh,
Um, all right, we got someone on Bet365. What's up?
I think that was the guy from the
Yeah,
from
WFB.
Barbados.
So yeah, we've been killing it. Had the very unlikely winless day on Thursday. I got
That
back
was
late.
funny. That was
I, I got
funny.
back late and I was like, all right, I'm not putting any bets in this week. I was in Kentucky, don't have sports betting there. And the charts were showing and I used the same charts. I didn't my problem was I didn't match it with the other chart that I usually look at, but for this one chart to go 0 and 7 is kind of insane. So I do apologize for that. And I took a step back, and on Friday I went 5-1 myself. Unfortunately, went 1-1 in the official picks, but
Yeah.
I think definitely Sunday got some good player props coming. I think Sam's got some fire picks as
I got
well.
some picks.
So
I got some picks, like always.
um, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask or type it in the chat. So, what's your first play of the day?
All right, let's start off. I got an underdog with the Browns and Dolphins, and I'm going to take the Browns plus 3.5. Interesting statistic. If you look at the Browns, four losses, they've been by 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, and 3 points. So all within 3 points of their four losses. Um, and the Dolphins have had a lot of close wins as well. I mean, I think the Dolphins will be able to succeed on offense. I mean, anytime you have Tyreek Hill, he's on pace to break the receiving record.
Dude,
And have a guy
insane.
like Jalen Waddle.
Insane.
You're going to be able to get some explosive plays. You're going to be able to get good offense going. But Browns are off a bye week, off a big win against the Bengals. So I'm expecting them to be well prepared. They also now have Garrett and Clowney off the edge, and that gave Joe Burrow a lot of problems on Monday Night Football.
Yes.
So I'm expecting to inherit some of those problems. Um, I also think the Browns will be able to exploit a weak Dolphins secondary that ranks 27th according to DVOA. I'm expecting the Browns to get some passing plays going. Brissett's not a terrible quarterback; he'll be able to take advantage of it. And I also believe as soon as they're able to take advantage of the Dolphins secondary, they can kind of just hand the ball off to the second best running offense and have Chubb and Hunt really just wear the Dolphins defense down. I can see the Dolphins losing this one, and I can see the Browns winning this one. But I think if this game easily comes down to a field goal, especially with the Browns running the ball down the clock. So that gives me the Browns plus 3.5. I'm taking at a medium confidence play, 2 or 3 units, but not too crazy. So yeah, that's my first pick of the day.
Yeah, I have the exact same. Definitely put a couple units on the spread. I mean, 3.5. That's what we kind of talked about last week with
Yeah.
the you got the lines that you want to see. Um, Also, I think they're gonna try and keep the Dolphins off the field. Browns have a ridiculous running game.
That's
Nick
what I was gonna say.
Chubb's
They're gonna just continue
so
running.
the under 49.5 currently it's kind of it opened up at 46.5. So
Yeah.
but you have that 49.5. So again, that's like another one of those numbers that you're looking at. So I mean, 7 touchdowns, quite a bit of that's quite a bit of scoring
I agree.
when you have like a pretty strong running game on one side. So the under is under 49.5 is potential play, but because I'm gonna have the plus 3.5 and sprinkle a little bit of the money line, that's my official play as well for the Browns.
Perfect. Let's go. Next, we got the Bears and Lions, little divisional matchup. And I'm gonna look to the over in this game. I They did just come off a very low scoring game, the Lions, but the Packers are just a weird team in
It should have
general.
been a high scoring, but
Yeah, it was though.
Rogers threw three inside
Three
the 10 yard.
red zone.
So
Uh, I mean, the Bears offense is like playing very well with
they are
Fields
clicking.
continuing to progress. I don't think the Lions will have any answer for Fields' dual threat. He can run the ball, he can pass the ball. He actually set the record for rushing yards in a game by a quarterback. Chase Claypool should be involved a little more in the offense. Yeah, only had 26 snaps against the Dolphins. And the Lions have Swift and St. Brown both fully healthy and ready to go. That should make it a little easier for Goff. Two big playmakers and a safety blanket for as DeAndre Swift. He's going to be very valuable. Detroit's defense has been terrible, and its offense has been good. That's been the story all around. They play in a lot of shootouts. They rank 11th in total points scored. I think this total is actually the second highest behind the Chiefs Jacksonville game, but I'm still taking the over. I don't see how these offenses don't succeed. So I'll take the
Right.
over at 48.5.
Yeah, I got player prop on this. So again, minus 140. Sometimes I can go to 145, 150. A couple fights yesterday. I tailgated in the morning for my alma mater's rivalry game, which didn't end out very well.
Yeah.
So didn't put any UFC picks, but I did pretty well yesterday in UFC. But if I have a few beers in me, I definitely not got to make any official picks. But again, so his over 2.5, they only have him at plus or over 2.5 on DraftKings and FanDuel. So I'm gonna have a same game parlay with him to bring those odds down. So on DraftKings, if you can get Chase Claypool at over 29.5 yards and parlay that with 3 or more receptions, then you'll get minus 125. So I'm gonna put that at a 2-unit play for
Okay.
that same game parlay. Again, he's gonna be, and that's you saw last week what that did to that opens up the field for Fields to run or whatnot. That takes a lot of his deep threat, takes the safety kind of out of playing a spy per se and having to being able to sneak up and creep up. So that opens up the field for Fields. And he's still a deep threat. He's a really good receiver despite all of his antics. So I say he's probably gonna get 7 or 8 throws his way and hoping he can catch at least 3. And he
Yeah.
averages, I think, over 15 yards easily a reception. So if you want to go higher, over 40 receiving yards, I think you can get that at like plus 120 or something. But to keep it safe, just keep it at minus 120 for 2 units.
All right. Moving on. Broncos, Titans. People think this game's gonna be boring. I
This is
think,
weird. This is
yeah,
a weird line for me.
yeah.
I was looking at it, I was like, I don't get it.
I don't
But
know, but I'm gonna take the Broncos plus 2.5. Uh,
all right.
if you look at quarterback efficiency, Malik Willis actually ranks 44th or 45th, and Tannehill is 17th. Who they do get him back, so that's definitely an upgrade
Oh,
of Pat.
Tannehill's playing today,
I think he is, yes.
and
I
they're
mean,
still
he
two
was
and a half
questionable.
favorites.
He was on the cusp against the Chiefs, so I would think he's going to play this week.
There's no way they're 2.5 favorites if he's playing. But go ahead. Sorry, I'm looking it up right now.
If you do that, then it'll make the play even better.
Right.
Um, Regardless, between either of the quarterbacks for the Titans offense, the Broncos have one of the best passing defenses in the league and an overall elite secondary. They actually rank first in pass DVOA. That means they're going to force the Titans to become one-dimensional with the run and Derrick Henry or bust. It's not bad being Derrick Henry or bust. Derrick Henry's a great player, but making an offense one-dimensional isn't great. The Titans are also just a middle of the pack running team overall, and the Broncos' run defense has been pretty good this season. If you also look at the luck ratings, this is according to Action Network, the Titans are the 4th luckiest team in the league. This is like basically close wins, underlying numbers, and good breaks, inflating records. And the Broncos on the flip side rank 28th. So they've had a ton of things that have gone against them with like 2-minute drills, picks, where they could just hold the ball, muffed punts in overtime against the Chargers. Denver's also coming off of a bye week, while Tennessee's defense will be a little tired after going to overtime with Patrick Mahomes.
And that was a late game too, wasn't it?
Yeah. A late game. Yeah, it was. It was I think it was Sunday Night Football or Sunday
Right.
Night Football. I think this is a game the Broncos surprise. I think they're playing a little better than they did earlier in the season. And I'm gonna take an underdog, Broncos plus 2.5. Bang.
All right. I don't have that line scares me. I have no idea why. I mean, Titans are a good team. And even if Tannehill's playing, I don't see how that I don't see how that's 2.5. So I'm gonna stay away. I did just read though that Russell Wilson is only 2 touchdowns shy to get 300 career touchdowns. Tennessee doesn't have the best defense, pass defense.
No.
Let me see what they're.
Do have a pretty good run defense though.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Also, Broncos, like you said, have a really really good defense. So, the Titans'
Yeah.
defense is 30th in pass.
Yeah.
So this might be like a breakout game. Obviously, Russell has had a underperforming year per se. I don't know why DraftKings. It's like they're listening to me or something, but they just locked the Broncos and Titans game. I don't like they locked the Vikings and Bills and the Broncos and Titans. The Broncos money line just went to plus 110. So
That probably means they made a quarterback decision.
yeah, because that's pretty much even money. But it's still locked. I can't see what it is, but I'll let you know if I do end up pulling the trigger. But I think Wilson's overpassing. If it's over 1.5, and it's minus 120 or better, I'll probably take that. So if it unlocks, I'm going to continue trying to get onto it, but not an official play yet. I'll post it obviously in the chat if I do make that.
Perfect. Going on to my third underdog of the day. I'm going to take the Jaguars plus 9.5 against Kansas City. All of the 3 40-point performances the Chiefs have put on the board, they've all actually been on the road. So the Chiefs have been a worse team at home, which is really weird. And that's why they've had a lot of close games with the Titans, the Raiders, the Chargers. Mahomes is 42% against the spread in his career at Arrowhead and is 41% in games that Mahomes has been favored by 7 points or more. The last time the Chiefs beat a team by more than one possession in the regular season was December 12th, 2021 against the Raiders.
What? That's a wild stat.
I know.
That's insane.
The Jaguars do have 6 losses on the year, and I think before that Raiders game weren't great. They really kind of revitalized their season with that Raiders win. And this is a difficult game for the Chiefs. They just played 91 snaps on offense. And then they have another primetime game next week against the Chargers. I think there will be some points here, but I do think the Jaguars will keep pace. I'm not going to go too big because I can see Mahomes putting a masterclass on the Jacksonville defense, but I'm definitely going to lock this play in at a 1 to 2 unit play. Jaguars plus 9.5.
Yeah, I again in Etienne, Jacksonville's he's been running really well. Kansas City always obviously doesn't have a good defense. If you want to say just because their offense is so good, they don't get, and they're gonna be tired. So I'm not. That's not gonna be a pick for me. I'm gonna stay away from this game, but I do like that pick.
All right. Next, we're gonna head to the Vikings and Bills game, and today I said I was switching it up a bit. I'm not going to take anything on like the spread or the total, but instead I'm going to look to the Vikings team total, which last time I checked was at 19.5. It may have changed though. I think this total is definitely a little too low. I think they're going to have a lot more chances to score this game. Considering I don't know if Allen's going to be able to keep the Bills on the field all that much, like being very healthy. The Vikings offense is, according to DVOA, a pretty average unit, but it definitely has advantages in the run game with Dalvin Cook. They rank 4th while the Bills rank 18th in DVOA. The Bills still have a lot of injuries on the back end of this defense, and I think Kirk and Jefferson will be able to have a nice little connection. I saw this somewhere. There is a chance of like some weird weather, like rain and snow. So that could affect team scoring drastically. So just watch that. But for now, if it's at 19.5, last time I checked, I would take it. It may get bumped up a couple of points, but I would still take it 2 or 3 points above the line right now.
So what is that pick you have?
Vikings team total over 19.5.
Okay. I like the Vikings to win this game. I think the injury, they're downplaying it more. I mean, if you look back at the throw, it does look kind of bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing as what pitchers have, right? Is it?
Yeah, you get to get
uh,
Tommy John for that though.
yeah, it's in. I mean, that throw motion, and I don't think Allen's going to have as much heat, if you will, or strength on his throws. So I like I like the Vikings on this, possibly to even upset. What is the line at now? Also, to kind of go back, so Wilson over one and
I
a half.
think it was Buffalo 6.5. Buffalo.
So
Buffalo.
Wilson over 1.5 is plus 150 touchdowns. So I'm going to go ahead and put a unit on that. So I'm going to lock that in. Those
Who?
odds are
Who?
Russell Wilson to have 2 touchdowns. Sorry, going back to the Broncos, I have that up. And they only have Tannehill's yards on here. So I'm assuming that's why they locked it out, because they were updating that. And the line moved to +2. So I guess Vegas isn't really high on Tannehill right now. Not exactly sure how that is. Again, the Vikings and Bills. So lines must be moving right now, because the Bills and the Vikings are locked. But I like the Vikings on this. Whatever it opens up to, probably if it's plus 3.5, that would be a 2-unit play for me. And then again, sprinkle some money on the money line. I definitely like the Vikings against injured Josh Allen. Again, the Vikings were one of my sleeper future bets as to win the division and to make it to the
They're
Super.
easily going to get it now, I think.
Right. So I think I have them again. It's a Kirk Cousins. He's playing for a contract, so he obviously hasn't played very well. I mean, he's not being an Aaron Judge by any means, but he's doing enough. Justin Jefferson's on fire. So I like the Vikings, whatever the line. I don't know what it is now. It's moving. If it's
Yeah,
plus 3.5 or better than 2 units, if it's at +3 or minus 2.5, definitely buy that and put a unit on there.
All right. Next, I'm going to stick with the trend here, and that's fading the Texans' run defense. They're in 31st against the run. Derrick Henry had 217 yards
Insane.
against the Texans in week 8. And then last week, week 9, Josh Jacobs had 143 against the Texans. And this week, I'm taking another star running back in Saquon Barkley. I think this is just following a trend. The Texans' run defense has been horrible. I don't even know if they're really trying to win anymore. So maybe you take a play on the Giants, but I'm definitely going to take a play on Saquon Barkley. He is the powerhouse of this offense. I like him at over 92.5 yards.
Yeah, I do like that. And then the Texans are definitely tanking. So it's going to be up to who's worse, them or the Colts. Who's better at tanking, or is that the right?
Who's better at
Also, the Seahawks are coming back. They scored 3 straight. It's a 5-point game with 4 minutes left in the fourth.
Wait, can you check who the 2 people who scored were?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I like that. Again, it's hard for me to put over 90 just because he's being injury prone and everything. I like that pick. I obviously like player props, so I'll follow that one. Tail, if you will.
Dang.
What was it, 92.5?
Yeah.
Let me see who just scored for the.
Just check because
I almost bet them live in the second half.
I was gonna bet I last night before my phone got run over by a truck. I had a bet
Tyler
on
Lockett and Marquise Goodwin, both passes.
All right.
Dang, Geno Smith, 23 for 33, 275 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
That's a pretty good day for him against, I mean, the Buccaneers defense obviously is the only shining spot on that team right now.
I agree. Next, Saints versus the Steelers. This is kind of like the time in football where we have the teams who are fighting to get in the playoffs or fighting for a playoff spot, fighting for like good seeding, and the teams who are kind of just seeing what works for next year. The Saints, although there's not a big like difference in record, the Saints are a team that's fighting for playoff seeding, and the Steelers just want to see what works next year. I think the Steelers are going to experiment a bit on offense with Kenny Pickett and trying to see what they can do to make this work in the future. And the Saints will obviously just be focused on winning. The one worry I have with the Saints is I'm pretty sure is TJ Watt back for the Steelers.
I thought that was a season ending. That wasn't season ending.
It wasn't. I thought I saw some. Maybe I saw some fake news.
Let me
Can't
see.
check on my phone, but
Steelers rule Minka Fitzpatrick out and activate TJ Watt.
yeah. So TJ Watt's playing.
Dang. Yeah, he tore it. That's crazy. All right. So that's kind of boost. He's a definite the leader of the team. He's the captain.
Yeah. So TJ
Watt, he has a lot of energy.
No Minka isn't great. So no Minka for the Steelers isn't great. TJ Watt may be able to pressure Dalton into throwing some turnovers, which could be bad. But besides that, I don't think Pittsburgh would be able to take advantage of those turnovers anyways. So overall, Kenny Pickett hasn't really played well. He has one win as a starter against Tampa Bay, but Trubisky was the quarterback in the fourth quarter anyways. Right. I'm not trusting the Steelers at all to do anything offensively. Their defense might do a bit, but this line is not nearly big enough where they can cover it. I like the Saints -1.5 at a 3 to 4 unit play.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything on this game. It's hard for me to, like you said, some people are experimenting, others are actually trying. So kind of, yeah, I'm fading this game. I'm not making any picks.
All right. Moving on. We're going to the Colts. Colts and Raiders.
I'm gonna mute you and myself. Because I say I'm not gonna bet him anymore. Then I bet I bet 2 props.
I am fading the Colts this week. Once I need to fade them. I'm sorry, they're just not a good team. So I'm gonna take them.
All right.
If you look at the home road trends, the Colts on the road very much underperform in the betting market, while Vegas slightly overperforms. This may not be a very good game, but the Colts are just a terrible team. I mean, Sam Ellinger, I don't know if he's going to do much. I don't think I'm fading Jeff Saturday, who I have no faith in. And I just think the Raiders have a bounce back game. The Colts defense has been pretty good. I think this is a game where Carr, Adams, and a talented receiving core takes advantage of the Colts. And I don't think the Colts takes advantage of a lot of the Raiders' flaws. Give me the Raiders -4.5 at a 3 unit play.
Yeah, it's again, I don't understand, but they are missing 2 of their tight end. Both of their tight ends are out. I think they're missing their middle linebacker for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Is out also. Jonathan Taylor, again, I'm not betting anything on this. I'm just gonna talk, just I'm finding value. His receiving yards only 16.5. So if they get down or anything, I mean, that's 2 catches for him. Sure. So that's one of the highest value picks that I see right now, is him receiving yards over 16.5, because they don't have any running backs. I mean, they let Nyheim Hines go. They just waived, the old Broncos running back. Gosh dang it. They just waived another veteran running back and brought a guy from the practice squad. So kind of like what you said, they're experimenting. Jeff Saturday's an experiment. He's not going to be the head coach next year. Grab my tin hat foil. They brought in Jeff Saturday as an analyst to get the mood right in the locker room, see which players are all in, which players aren't, talk with the coaches, see which ones are all in, see which ones are not. Peyton Manning going to come back next year, be a small minority.
Amen.
He's going to be a small minority owner of the team. They're going to fire
And
Chris
then
Ballard. They're going to fire Chris Ballard. And then Jeff Saturday is going to be the GM and
there's an
hire.
easy way that the Colts can win the Super Bowl next year, and that's if Peyton Manning gets 10 years younger and starts playing quarterback.
But they're gonna
And
hire.
then
They're
they
gonna
have a
hire
chance.
Sean Payton. Sean Payton's gonna be the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts next year.
You think he's still gonna coach?
Oh yeah, he already said if it's the right time and the right team, he'll like to come back.
Oh wow.
So,
All right, well,
again, that's my tinfoil hat. It's recorded. We'll post this. So,
so we could have
I
rec-
mean, who knows? Because the Colts are always they've always tried to keep up with the pass, even though they have Jonathan Taylor. You see Frank Wright just throwing the ball the stupid amount of times inside the 5 or whatnot.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's my soapbox. The Devontae Adams over 6.5 receptions is at minus 135. So they're expecting him to get at least 7 catches or 8. And then his receiving yards is only 82. So he's definitely going to average more than 10 receiving yards. So if he gets that, then again, I think he's just going to torch. He was critical of the coaches, but he did it well the way he was critical. He said he loves them. He just wishes he would be in the offense more. Him as an anytime touchdown scorer. Also, I don't know what those odds are. He probably is going to score a touchdown. So again, I'm not betting any of these. So minus 110, I don't like taking that. But if I were going to put a pick, it would be Jonathan Taylor over 16.5 receiving yards.
All right. Here we
And
go.
I'm gonna cry again today.
This is my worst. This is probably my weirdest pick of the day. Give me the Packers +4.
I like it. I do like it.
The Cowboys are the better team. I'm not gonna lie, they're the better team. And if you look at when I think this game opened, the Packers were favored at 3.5. So the way that line has dropped has really been an indicator of how their season has gone so far. But again, look at the luck ratings. Dallas has been the third most fortunate team in the NFL. I think a lot of that also was with Cooper Rush, but they had a lot of stuff that have gone their way. Green Bay has actually been the least fortunate team. We already talked about it with all the red zone turnovers.
1 second. I want to give you all a play right now to go and put in the Knicks -4 against the Thunder.
All right, go lock it in.
So that's our live pick of the day. I was looking at basketball and some soccer, but yeah, Knicks -4 against the line opened up at 4.5. It just switched to 6.5. So try to get it at least under 5 if you can.
So Green Bay also had 2 late collapses to the Giants and the Commanders. Again, Cowboys are the better team. I'm still liking the Packers at +4.5. Something about Dallas feels off. I'm taking the Packers to cover the spread.
I like that pick. I faded the Cowboys pretty hard a couple of weeks ago. So once I get burnt once, I kind of they're just so unpredictable. So I like that pick. I think this is definitely an Aaron Rodgers bounce back. 3 interceptions again in the end zone, which is it's just wild. But yeah, so I like that pick. I'm not touching this game though. I mean, Rodgers over touchdowns probably be a good pick, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
so I'm going to take this 1 to 2 units, 2 units most. Rams, Cardinals. Is my final pick of the day. I'm going to take the under in this game. This is a pretty common bet, but I'm going to be with the public. The Cardinals on the road, the under is 3-1. With the Cardinals on the road. I hope this trend continues. The score was 20-12 in week 3 between these two teams, and that was with both quarterbacks starting. I'm not sure if Stafford is playing today.
It says he is.
I think he will be, but I don't know how healthy he is going to be, and he hasn't been playing that well anyways.
Right. And Cooper Cup
The
had what
Rams are the
180 of their 200. They only had like 240 yards of offense last week.
yeah. The Rams are the only second top 10 overall defense the Cardinals have played this season. And the Rams have had Kyler Murray's number like for forever now, I feel like. We saw it last year in the playoffs. So again, if it says Stafford's in, then you also might want to lean to the Rams, but I'm gonna lean to the under. I'm not a big fan of the Rams offense, but I am a good fan of the Rams defense against the Cardinals. I like the under 40.5. I think that's what it's at right now.
It's live at 38.5. A ton of
Oh,
money just got like it dropped 2 points. Like since we've been talking since it's open, it opened up at
yeah,
like
I
what
just
42 and a
refreshed
half
it.
or something. And it's dropped 2 points since we yeah, I got it at 40.5. That was another one of my picks. I guess we have to go with 38.5 since that's what we're
Yeah.
we're live, right? Like maybe put like a unit. What how many units are you putting on this?
One, maybe.
Okay. So yeah, so I would say like even if you want like put a half unit on under 38.5, if they score on the first drive, that's gonna go up to 42.5 instantly. Even if they score either team scores on their first drive, um, that's gonna shoot up. So depending on how risky you are, I really like this pick. A lot of money is coming, probably the most money.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so again, I'm gonna put a unit on under 38.5. And then if a first drive is scored by either team, then I will put another unit on that under 42. So interesting is let's see if I can find that. What was it? The Rams are the Cardinals are like 7-1. What are they away? Like they're really good away team. Again, also Buda. I don't think Buda Baker's playing.
Uh,
Um, he might be out. So if Buda Baker's out, that's a huge loss for the Cardinals, especially even if he's playing, he has a hamstring injury. There's no way he's gonna be able to guard Cooper Cup. Like so,
yeah.
again, Cooper Cup is just an animal.
I think anyone can
Um,
guard Cooper Cup, I'm gonna be honest.
but oh yeah, so the Cardinals have a 10-3 record over their past 13 road games. So that's pretty good odds. Zach Ertz is second in the league in tight ends with 46 catches. So he's averaging about 3 or 4. So I have the under on that. That's a 1 unit. And then let me look at what the player props are now. I was telling him, Sam before is so they only have James Conner rushing yards. Oh, there it is. So Rondell, okay, so they just put it up. I like Rondell more. So ever since DeAndre Hopkins came back, he's obviously taken a lot of
Yeah.
like he's definitely taken two
Like, I
two
just bought a
players out
whole
of the
thing of
thing.
beer.
So
Y'all playing. I mean,
sorry.
my shit was fucking
Oh,
$60.
is he not you're not talking to us, are you?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Let me see. How do I do it? Where's it at? All right. So I like Rondell more. Let me see what his receptions are. Do they not have it? They have his receiving at over 42.5. That's kind of high. I was hoping that he can get at least over 4.5. So yeah, they don't have his receptions right now. Zach Ertz receptions over 3.5. I was hoping that would be 2.5, but getting him at 4, he's averaging about that. He's averaging right at 4. So since this is supposed to be a low scoring game, I don't know how the throwing's gonna be. So I'm gonna keep my eye out on Rondell Moore. If his is that opens up, he had what 8 catches last game, I think 9 the game before. So he's getting a lot of throws. He's getting looks. The 42.5 is definitely a little high than what I would like. So yeah, if again the under is definitely my play. What's if Kyler Murray, he's gonna be scrambling a lot. They don't have the best line, and obviously the Rams have a decent. I'm blanking who's their D end, Aaron Donald, or yeah,
Yeah.
D tackle. So with Aaron Donald still being Aaron Donald, he's a force. So if they play it's a 415, 420 game. So Again, I would like the Kyler Murray. See what the line opens up at, along with Rondell Moore. But I will post those if they get posted. Make sure Kyler's playing. Is Kyler? Did he get what? I know he was. I didn't know that was even.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he wasn't healthy. He's.
I know he got shooken up, but I didn't realize that there's a chance he's not playing.
I didn't think it was like
Because this is, I mean, this is a do or die game for both teams. This is probably gonna be the most exciting game that we have. I mean, you have the Rams, so yeah. I don't know. You have the defending Super Bowl champions. If they lose, if either team, whichever team loses, I doubt they make the playoffs. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna put some shots in his ankle and he'll be ready to go.
Do something to him before game.
So I think I don't.
Got it for you because I'll recap mine.
Yeah, it's all. Oh, CMC, Christian McCaffrey over 36.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, his rushing, they have him at like 80 rushing yards. And I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. But,
I don't like that. I don't like that 80 rushing
but over 36.5 receiving yards, he's easily going to get 4 or 5 catches. I don't know what his reset. Again, because it's a later game, they don't have his receptions up yet.
I know.
So, again, that's something that's going to be posted later if they. But I have him over 36.5 receiving yards right now.
All right.
But I appreciate that information, T Cave. Definitely. Thanks for chiming in.
All right, let's do a little recap of all of my picks, and then Jacob will do a recap of his. I'll go through mine quickly. Got the Browns +3. I think that's what the line is at right now. If they've engaged in a lot of close games, I think they're going to make it difficult on Tua. I like the Browns to cover 3. Detroit goes to Chicago. I like the over here. 2 really good offenses, 2 bad defenses. Justin Fields and Amon-Ra Swift. You got playmakers. This is a game perfect for an over. Denver at Tennessee. I got Denver +2.5. Great defense. Wilson, as Jacob mentioned, only 2 away from passing or tying.
For reaching 300 total.
So reaching 300. That's what I meant. Not
right.
Passing or tying. Reaching 300 passing touchdowns. And I think it's the game he does it. And I think it's the game they win and cover. Jacksonville at Kansas City. Jacksonville +9.5. Kansas City isn't a great team at covering over 1 possession spreads at home. So I like Jacksonville to win and cover. Not win. I did not mean to say that. Cover. I like Jacksonville to cover.
You don't want to put a little sprinkles,
Yeah.
little salt on the sprinkles on the money line.
Jacksonville +9.5. Minnesota at Buffalo. I got the Vikings team total over. It says the line is 6.5 right now.
That means I don't think Allen's gonna play, man.
Why not? Yeah.
I think they're playing games. They said he's questionable because I mean that looked pretty bad with that elbow injury.
Yeah.
It's 7. I had DraftKings. Oh wait, never mind. That was let me see. It's locked on mine, so I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, Vikings team total over. Think they're gonna be able to get a lot of points up again.
What you say was 19.5?
Yeah.
I don't see how they don't score 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, they've gotten that like everywhere.
Allen is active. Okay. Yeah, I just don't
think
the
line would be 6.5. I'm not surprised.
Right. I don't think because Allen's active, I still don't think he's gonna be efficient.
Yeah. And so Minnesota team total over, as I said, rushing mismatch. And I think the Bills' injuries in their secondary should allow Cousins and Jefferson to get it going. Houston going to New York. I like Saquon over his yards. Texans have been terrible against the run, and Jacobs and Henry lit him up the past 2 weeks. I think Saquon's going to do the same thing. I like his rushing yards total over 92.5. Saints are now underdogs.
What's going on? Let me look where the money is, because let me see this chart.
Someone must have been ruled out or something. I have no idea what just happened.
I don't know. Let me see.
Did like Andy Dalton, is Andy Dalton injured or something? maybe like Minka's playing.
Yeah, I don't know. If anything, I mean, it's still pretty. I mean, it's plus money, or it's pretty much even.
Yeah, regardless, I'm still rocking with the Saints against an inexperienced and not really a trying, I guess, Steelers team. Colts at Raiders, fading the worst team in the league in the Indianapolis Colts. I just said that just to piss you off, but I still am taking the Raiders to cover spread. I don't like the coaching switch. Ellinger's not a good quarterback. This is a game where the Raiders get it going. Dallas at Green Bay. Green Bay, I'm taking them +4. They have engaged. I think they have the least luckiest team in the league. Had a lot of red zone turnovers against the Lions. I expect them to rebound at home and cover a spread. I'm not sure about winning, but at least cover the spread.
Is the rookie, is he back or is he still
I'm
injured?
not sure. We'll see. Rams, Cardinals under 38.5. Be wary, that total is pretty low, but the Rams offense isn't good, and the Rams defense is really has Kyler's number over the past year or so. So I like the Rams to win. No, that's not what I meant. I like the Rams Cardinals to go under 38.5. And that's all I got for today.
Awesome. So yeah, Dobbs is not expected to play. Yeah, so I have the same Browns +3.5, put some sprinkles on the money line. Christian McCaffrey for the 49ers, which is still weird to say. And how about the Panthers without him? Just run and Foreman. That's insane seeing how well they're doing on the running game. Over 36.5. Claypool over 29.5 and 3 receptions. Same game parlay. That's a 2-unit play for me. Wilson's going to hit 300 career touchdowns, so over 1.5 TDs at +150. I have the Vikings at +3.5 in the money line. And I have the New York Knicks at -4. So live, I did a live bet of the New York Knicks at -4. I'm going to wait and see what the Kyler Murray rushing yards is over, along with Rondale Moore receiving catches. So
Yeah.
But again, if you are not in the VIP, message us because you joined us and whatnot. We will give you these plays. If you are in the VIP, these plays will be posted. So,
all right. Any questions, comments, concerns? We already got some comments that were helpful.
I hope, we continue. I mean, we've obviously been killing this on Sundays, so hope we continue that for you, Roderick, as you are now got your bookie. Did you watch the fights at all last night?
No, I'm not. I kind of stopped watching UFC because but John Jones is always my favorite fighter, and
so you like cheaters? I see.
yeah, still the best of all time.
Right. There's this one guy after he won. He's like, if you're in Argentina or Paraguay, I think, he's like, hit up this guy. He's got best bookie. He'll get you paid. And like they shut his mic off. It was the funniest thing ever. And you got to bet on the mullet. There's an American that came out with the mullet. It was like a +250. I got him at +1. Plus, I just put a little bit of money at +1100 first round knockout and just continue to roll that over. Yeah, it was the best card. That's probably one of the best cards I've ever watched.
Yeah, I heard it was a very good card.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, I appreciate you all for joining. Thanks, Sam, always. And let's have a Sunday.
Got it. Let's go, guys. Thank you.